Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with Podcast. I'm Chris, and joining me today is Laura.
Hey, Chris. Today we've got a really interesting topic to dive into. How to speak English with confidence. This is something a lot of learners struggle with, so we'll be discussing some practical tips that can help.
Definitely. Confidence can make a huge difference in how well you speak a language. It's not just about knowing vocabulary or grammar. It's about feeling at ease when using the language, especially in conversations. So, let's jump into some of the strategies to help boost that confidence. And don't forget, we've prepared a PDF for this episode, full of useful tips and vocabulary to help with your learning. You can find it on our Telegram channel. We left the link in the description.
All right, Chris, let's start with the first key point. Embrace your mistakes. Now, this might sound simple, but many learners are terrified of making mistakes when they speak. They worry about sounding silly or being judged by others.
And that's completely normal. But here's the thing. Everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. So instead of fearing mistakes, try to view them as learning opportunities. Mistakes are actually signs that you're trying. And that's the most important part.
Exactly. If you're constantly worried about making mistakes, you might never take the opportunity to practice. And that's a huge barrier to building confidence. The more you speak, the more you learn, and eventually your mistakes become less frequent.
Now, moving on to the second point, which is to practice regularly. This might seem obvious, but it's so important. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything, but from speaking regularly, even if you're not perfect at it yet.
Yes, practice is essential. You have to get used to hearing yourself speak in English. One great way to practice is to find a conversation partner, someone who speaks English, or even someone who is learning it too. You can practice together and support each other. If you don't have a partner, there are plenty of online language exchange platforms where you can find someone to talk to.
And if you're not ready for conversations yet, start small. For example, try to speak aloud when you're reading in English, or if you're watching a video or listening to a podcast, pause it and repeat what you hear. This helps you get comfortable with speaking and improves your fluency.
Another important tip is preparing ahead of time. If you know you have an English conversation coming up, take a few minutes to think about the topic. Write down a few key points or phrases that you want to use. This way, when you're in the conversation, you won't feel lost for words. You'll feel more in control, which is key to confidence.
That's a great point, Laura. Having some preparation makes a big difference. But here's the thing, don't focus too much on memorizing everything. It's about having a guide so you can relax and speak more naturally.
Absolutely. And even if you don't get everything right, having some notes can help you stay focused and calm. Which leads us to another tip. Don't be afraid to pause and think. Sometimes when we speak too quickly, we get nervous or mix up our words. It's completely okay to take a moment to collect your thoughts.
Right. Taking a brief pause can make you sound more confident. It gives you time to think about what you want to say, and it also makes your speech clearer. Plus, you'll avoid stumbling over words or losing track of what you were saying.
Next, we have something that I really recommend listen to as much English as possible. The more you listen, the more natural the language will feel when you speak. You get used to the rhythm, the intonation, and the flow of English. This builds your confidence because it feels less foreign.
Listening is a huge part of learning. Watch movies, TV shows, or even YouTube videos in English. Listen to podcasts like this one. You'll hear different accents, vocabulary, and slang, which will help you become more comfortable with the language.
And don't just listen to English, but also try to mimic what you hear. Pay attention to how native speakers pronounce words, the pauses they make, and their intonation. Then, try repeating it. It's a great way to practice speaking without worrying too much about mistakes.
And speaking of mimicking, another great way to practice is by doing shadowing exercises. This means you listen to a short clip, pause it, and then repeat exactly what was said. The goal is to imitate the speaker as closely as possible in terms of pronunciation and tone. It might be challenging at first, but with time, you'll notice improvement.
I love shadowing. It's a really effective method, especially for building pronunciation and speaking fluency. Now, let's talk about speaking slowly and clearly. Many learners rush through their sentences because they want to speak fast or sound fluent, but speaking too quickly can actually make you more nervous and less clear.
That's so true. Speaking slowly helps you focus on your pronunciation, and it gives you more time to think about what you're going to say next. It's better to speak slowly and be understood than to speak quickly and risk making mistakes or being unclear.
Exactly. And here's a fun tip. Focus on your body language. How you present yourself when speaking can actually boost your confidence. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and use hand gestures. You don't need to overdo it, but body language plays a big part in how confident you seem to others and how you feel about yourself.
It's true. When you use good body language, you're telling your brain that you're in control, which makes you feel more confident. Also, people are more likely to listen to you if you look confident while speaking.
Another thing that can help build your confidence is staying positive and being patient with yourself. Learning a new language takes time, and it's easy to get discouraged if you feel like you're not improving fast enough. But remember, every time you speak, you're learning something new.
And it's important to celebrate those small wins. Maybe you learned a new word or you were able to speak for longer than usual. Every little step counts. If you focus on your progress instead of your mistakes, you'll stay motivated and confident.
And finally, have fun with it. If you enjoy speaking English, you're more likely to keep practicing and improving. Try to find ways to make learning enjoyable, whether that's through games, conversations with friends, or watching movies in English.
Absolutely. Language learning should be fun, and having fun makes you feel more relaxed and confident.
So, to wrap things up, here are the key points we've discussed today. Embrace. To accept or adopt something willingly, often with enthusiasm. Example, you should embrace your mistakes because they help you learn and grow.
Louis, I know it hasn't always been easy for you to embrace new partners.
Fluency. The ability to speak or write a language smoothly, easily, and accurately. Example, she achieved fluency in English after practicing every day for several months.
Excellent leadership skills, logic, orange belt and Charlie Long Feast. Okay, fluency in Latin and Espanol.
Intonation, the rise and fall in the pitch of the voice while speaking, which helps convey meaning or emotion. Example, his intonation made it clear that he was excited about the news.
Your intonation, inflection, your choice of words.
Spontaneous, done or said in a natural, unplanned way. Example, their conversation was spontaneous, with both of them sharing ideas without preparation.
You're very spontaneous.
Mimic, to imitate or copy someone's actions, speech, or behavior. Example, she can mimic the accents of different English speakers perfectly.
Before I died, I killed a mimic, only this one was different.
Patience, the ability to wait calmly or endure difficulties without getting angry or upset. Example, learning a new language requires a lot of patience, especially when you're just starting out.
Trying my patience. Come on, work you, work.
So we decided to give you grammar tests to improve your grammar level.
Confidence comes with practice and patience, but it's something everyone can develop. Keep working on your speaking skills, and soon enough, you'll notice a huge difference.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you found today's episode helpful. Remember to keep practicing, stay positive, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Exactly. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on learning English. See you next time.
Bye for now.